All right, guys. Let's go over the plan for tonight's season finale against St. Croix. Game day roster was sent out from Matt yesterday. A couple guys coming back. It'll be good to have a solid group for this final game. Itinerary. Just a reminder: 5:30 to 5:45. We arrive, get dressed, we're in the locker room, and we need everyone to be out on the field by 6 o'clock so that we can start sharply at 6:05. So make sure we're not just kind of meandering on the field, but right up until the start of warm up. Objectives: Matt sent the ones from a mentality standpoint, from a tactical perspective. Again, in a game where conditions are going to be warmer on the turf, a game that against a team it can be dangerous in transition on us attacking wise, we want to have that controlled build up play, and have movements and have us always looking for movements in behind. So we still want control, we still want to build, but we have to threaten the space in behind them, especially their outside backs. So based on the center backs that they played against Menace, I think we could get out their left side, so down our right side. So making sure we're always checking that space and looking if we can get after them. Make use of our wing backs and wingers to overload those outside backs. They did play a 4-4-2 with a diamond in the midfield, so the width becomes open. Making sure that we have our numbers there so we can overload. And then just collectively recognizing our goal is to move the ball from the opposite side, move the ball to the opposite side from which we want it. So we regain on the right, can we build and finish from the left? It's important that our first thought are getting the ball out of that high pressure situation. Defensively, as Matt noted, really focus on denying that first goal. It is a 0 on the scoreboard at halftime for them. Again, that allows us to continue to dictate the game. We choose the way the game's played. We're not chasing the game. Understand their strengths. Two strikers are quick and are dangerous in behind, so let's make sure that we know that they'll make those movements into the outside channels. So making sure that not only do we have a deep center back who can help cover for that, but we also know that we need to get pressure on the ball and not allowing those balls that are just clipped in the channels for them to go run. Number 8, their holding midfield player kind of floats around. He dictates a lot of their game, so we need to really make sure that we're able to get pressure from the front and behind on him, so striker back tackling, denying that. From a defensive line, we want to start higher, though. They do continue to try to play, and when they do try to play, they tend to give up the ball in bad spots. So we're not going to sit off. We're going to keep a higher line when we can and read cues and allow our front three to really put them under pressure and you'll see that in one of the slides. Transition, ideas are still the same. We want to be able to read the moment when we win it, but defensively, make sure that we have good positioning when we have the ball, so when that transition to defend comes, we're able to kill the counter, get pressure on them, get our numbers back behind, and not allow them to have any success hitting the space in behind us. Starting 11, so we go with Xavier, Jonah, and Matt across the back. Eric and Wes will be the wing backs. Aiden and Jameson will be our two holders. And then Zach, Yasik, and Bernard across the front. Okay, goal kick shape. A little bit easier now with Martin as far as his affinity for having the ball at his feet. We want the ball from goal kicks to be played from the center back into Martin's feet so that he can start to build from the middle of the field. Especially with their two strikers, we want that 3v2. So let's not allow them, especially with their diamond that will shift and try to pin things wide. Let's keep the game in the middle as much as we can with Martin to build. We still have those concepts. Martin can clip into the winger. He can use our holding midfield player to bounce it out to the wing back. And then obviously we can try to play around the block. As the diamond tires, it's easier for us to quickly play and get around the block as it's getting tougher and tougher for them to shift. Their shape, like I said, a 4-4-2 with a diamond. As far as key players, number 8 sits as a holder. He'll float around. It's pretty fluid. That middle set of players will rotate and move around pretty fluidly, but it is a pretty consistent diamond. 7, Telvin Vav, he's there. He's dangerous in behind. And then 38, Olsen as well is dangerous and can win the 1v1 battles. He's shown that. Finished on us on a break in a 1v1. So we just need to be really aware where they're at. Here's a quick cue from our high line or our high press. What I wanted to highlight is the relationship of our front three with their two center backs and their holding mid. In this case, our 9, Yasik, can just take away Colton. And then our two wide wingers, so Zach and Bernard, can go man for man on their wing backs, or on their center backs, So we can lock them up and go 3 for 3 and make the goalkeeper solve the problems. The next piece to focus on is the position of the wing back. So we don't want you to leave that positioning until the ball is played. So if the goalkeeper clips it out to an outside back, you don't start traveling until the ball is in the air. The reason for this is their midfield three, that top part of their diamond, sits perfectly in between our gaps and our line of four. So you need to be able to do two jobs. So you need to be able to defend the space on the inside, but also be able to get out and press on the width. All right? And that still leaves us with 3v2 across the back. Again, extra player across the back three. Those wide center backs have the ability to step out and press higher and make sure that they're not able to turn. Not all three need to drop. Okay, set pieces. Same mentality as the pass. It's important that, St. Croix do focus a lot on set pieces. They have strength in that area, so obviously denying the set pieces, obviously taking care of them all through the phases, through phase 1, phase 2. So we win it, we clear it, we keep going until we've established our pressure. From our end, Aiden continues to serve the ball. When Jack enters the game, we obviously have the ability to play a long throw. So just know we have that in case. So as far as defensive corners, Wes and Mookie are going to be free as our two best headers to go and attack the ball. Just have to be aware that they will play short, so that's just us paying attention. And Zach will be on the front post. We'll leave Jacek high, and we'll have Bernard come back in with the strength to help defend on the set. Here's a quick image. Another way they do it, a lot of front post picks, and then they come around to the back. So as you can see in the lower right-hand corner, number 11, which is also number 8, he will come short and try to play short as well. So just something that we have to be aware of. From our standpoint, again, Aiden serving the ball. We're going to leave Jonah and Jameson high as the two to protect on the counter. And then Wes and Mookie will be the focus of that. We free them up as our targets on the set piece. Guys, we've left probably a couple goals out on this, so make sure that we really seize upon it. We're due some goals from a corner. And then here is their defensive. So it's a mix of zone and man for man. So again, if we can really attack the space where their zone is set up, attack the space and the service in between their zonal players. So if you see central back, 27 and number 5, there's gaps in those zones. So if we can attack the back of those players, again, tougher for the zonal marks to deal with that type of situation. All right. So guys, I think we're well drilled on what we need to do. We understand the movements and the danger that we present with our front three. It's just going about and putting 90 minutes together, leaving nothing to chance. This is our chance to end on a high note. Take care of all the details. We have that mentality to battle through the game, and we'll be very happy at the end. All right, I'll see you guys tonight.